Jackie, I'm here at the beginning of the night shift at a factory in Rugby, manufacturing intriguing and lucrative parts for a car industry that's booming here in Britain. The Chancellor himself was doing a tour of what he calls the nighttime 24-hour economy in this region, and he was very relieved by that number, and this is the story of that GDP number. The Chancellor's working night and day, looking high and low for Britain's long-awaited recovery.
Hiya. How you can see it. Right. So how do you drive this? How do you drive this?
Unsuspecting night shift workers across the Rugby area may have been surprised to see George Osborne on hand over the past day, digging for victory on a resurfacing project of the M6, baking bread at the Warburton's factory, and operating a forklift truck at Tesco's main distribution depot in Daventry. It was a type of Osborne-a-thon in aid of the GDP figures, which weren't bad at all. Even the Shadow Chancellor in America, looking for stimulus ideas, conceded some ground.
It's good news to finally have growth after the slowest recovery for 100 years. But for families, there's no recovery at all. Their living standards are falling, people are getting worse off. We need rising living standards to have a real recovery for the UK.
At Automotive Insulations Limited in Rugby, business is brisk. Turnover more than doubled since last year to £12 million as car exports from Britain hit records. Here they're stamping and pressing soft, noise-insulating parts going into Jaguars, BMWs and Bentleys. The workforce by the end of next year will have gone from 40 to 200. It required some bold decisions from boss Jim Griffin when the car industry fell flat on its face in the 2008 crisis.
And I spent the Christmas thinking, how am I going to keep my house? What do I tell my kids? But we came back after Christmas and we decided to redevelop the business and work harder, trained our staff to keep them engaged because we had no work for them. And that training...
So you trained them rather than lay them off when there wasn't the work?
Yeah, we paid them to come in to receive training rather than lay them off.
I wouldn't imagine you could make so much money out of the sort of furry soft bits in cars.
But if you look at, we're sending out 2 million parts a month from this site. That's really where it comes from. It's volume. Volume makes the money. We have seen an end to a lot of the crisis. People are saying access to finance is an issue. Well, I don't think it really is an access to finance issue now. People are starting to wake up to the fact that they can go out and buy things again.
So this is what growth looks like. A noise-absorbing panel for a BMW speaker exported from here in Rugby. The George Osborne will be happy with today's number. It's broad-based, it's solid if not spectacular, and it looks to be being continued in this quarter.